Hello, happy Christmas. I am very excited to show you the case of wine I prepared for Christmas 2025. I hope you've all had a very good year. I don't know about you, but it's absolutely flown by this year. It's absolutely insane. But we're here again. It's Christmas time. I hope you're all well. Thank you so much for supporting this project of mine once again. And yeah, we're set to 12 wines for Christmas. So I just thought I'd just do a video just talk through some of the wines that we selected. Yeah, so without further ado, really, I've kind of split these up into into areas. So I've got some Spanish wines, some Italian, and some fine wines. They're all from my friend who's an importer this year. She specialises in very small scale wines, mostly European, very high quality sort of wines you wouldn't find in a supermarket, the sort of wines you find in restaurants and that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm very proud of these. They're really exciting. Some you might know, some are new. So without further ado, I've got a lovely sparkling wine here, which is made in Spain. It's a cava, it's a rosé, which is really exciting. It's lovely, clean, easy drinking, perfect to kind of start the day off on Christmas, or anything really. A nice celebration wine. And don't forget, all cava is made traditionally, so just like champagne, so it's got lovely kind of toasty aromas, bit of complexity. Yeah, it's really lovely, clean, easy drinking. Yeah, so that's your first one. It's dry, so it will go really well with your, anything you're having on Christmas morning, but equally great just on its own. Then I've got these three wines here from Spain and Portugal. The reason why I selected these was to kind of give you a bit of point of difference between your usual Spanish wines like Rioja or Ribera del Duero. So I've got a white wine here from Portugal. I love wines from Portugal. They use grape varietals which are quite indigenous to the region. Nowhere else in Europe will be growing these grape varietals. But this is made in central Portugal. It's dry, it's only 13%. So I like this one because it was quite versatile, probably the most easy drinking white wine of the lot. So it go really well with simple foods, but on its own, whilst you're cooking, that sort of thing, it'd be delicious. But I would also serve this something like a risotto, that sort of thing would be delicious. Make sure you serve it really chilled. And that's the first white wine. These two red wines are both from Spain. Again, I wanted to show you a bit of what else Spain can do. Both are from different parts of the world. So one I've opened up already. It's called it's Mencia from northern Spain. I really like Mencia. I always will, if I'm in a restaurant or see it, it's usually well priced, and it's a great varietal. It's really fruity, not heavy. People kind of say it's a bit like the Beaujolais of Spain. This one's not. This one's got a bit more body, a bit more complexity. It's really fruity, easy going. Works well, really well with cold cuts, meats. But also it's just really easy to drink on its own. I really enjoyed this red wine. And it's got a bit of bottle age too, so again it gives it a bit more of a depth of flavour behind kind of like the fruit that you get, so it has a lovely kind of spicy complexity in the nose too. So yeah, that was really delicious. I really enjoyed that. The next one is Garnacha from Spain. This is the first one, was from northern Spain, near like San Sebastian area, that sort of part of the world. So this one's made in Catalonia. So I've had this one before in our lineup. I loved it. It's from a part of the world known as where Priorat comes from. Priorat's very famous for big, strong red wines. This is 13%, so it's a little bit more, you know, doesn't blow your head off, but it's very pure in style. Loads of fruit, real complexity. Bit like kind of a Côte d'Aron or Côte Rôtie, Châteauneuf-du-Pape sort of thing, but in Spain. It's really delicious, and I think it's considered really a fine wine. So yeah, if you're having any roast meats, that would be delicious. Perfect match for that would be roast pork. I wouldn't do a selection of red wines about anything from Italy. I love everything that there is to do with Italian wine and Italian culture and Italian food. So I always bring some Italian wines to the table. So this time around I've got 4 wines from Italy. The first 2 are a Trebbiano and a Sangiovese. The Trebbiano and Sangiovese are the most common grape varietals of white wine and red wine respectively in Italy. Sangiovese is the main grape varietal of wines like Chianti, for instance, and Trebbiano is, you know, it's everywhere. But these 2 are way more than table wines. These I had the white wine in one case last year, the red wine in another case, and I'm really excited that both came together. They both were imported at the same time, they've just arrived. I think these wines are absolutely incredible value for money, really do. I'm so pleased that we managed to come in time. They're both from a very small producer, so there's a lot of love and care that goes into these wines. The Trebbiano would go really well with like simple foods, chicken, risotto, pasta, carbonara, that sort of thing. But cold in a glass whilst you're, you know, just enjoying yourself is a real delight. It's 12.5% alcohol, so it's really, you know, for me that hits the button nicely. The red wine is 14%. It's got a bit more body. It's very fruity for Sangiovese, but also has that clean acidity that you would expect. So yeah, so these 2 would go really well as a pair. I think if you're having a dinner party or you're just wanting some nice wine side by side, beautiful examples here. And then I've got a Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. So this is the grape varietal, is called Montepulciano, and the areas is d'Abruzzo in Italy. This sort of wine you would see is like a house red in Italian restaurants. This one's plump, this one's easy drinking, it's soft, very smooth indeed. Would go really well with like pizza, pasta again. But this was kind of a bit of a more of a house wine, but really does kind of punch above what it looks like. It's a lovely little wine, I really like that. It's only 13%. And then this one here is one I'm really excited about. This is a 2022 Bordeaux inspired wine from northern Italy. You would usually find this sort of wine in Tuscany. They call it Super Tuscan. This is Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot. The blend is very similar to what you'd find in the right bank of Bordeaux, so like Pomerol or Saint-Emilion. This one is so delicious. It's a real fine wine. It's delicious. It needs a lot of air into it because it's quite young. It'll need you know, some time in the decanter just to wake up a bit. But serve this with your posh meal. You know, roast beef would be really good. But anything, you know, real complexity will match up with your big meals. This also, if you don't want to drink it now, this will lay down beautifully or age. But this winery, they're very boutique, very small, like all of them, but this one really is small. And they are right at the border of Slovenia. So right in the Alps, which is really interesting part of the world for wines. There's a lot of freshness to it. It's very gastronomic in style. That's such a poncy thing to say, but what I'm trying to describe is it's a real foodie wine. So fine wine, and then don't forget the other ones. Catalunya is a fine wine too. I've got more of that if you want it. just to let you know. This one here is a bit of a curveball for me, if I'm being honest. I don't usually buy wine from South Africa. I like South African wines. We're not represented very well in the UK at all. There's a lot of big, massive wineries in South Africa that kind of monopolise the market. But this one is a Shiraz Mourvèdre. So Shiraz is a spicy grape varietal. Mourvèdre is a bit more there's a bit more back structure to it, a bit more perfumed. But having this in the glass will remind you of Malbec, I would say. So if you're having a steak night, crack this one open. But this is, again, softer, easy drinking. It's 13.5%. So it's nice to have something like this in the lineup, because I usually go for European wines, so it's nice to have something from the New World. And then the last three wines, I've really pushed the boat out this time round, and I thought for a change. It's very easy for me to say, oh, this wine's a bit like red Burgundy, or this wine's like white Burgundy. I thought I'd just put in a red Burgundy and a white Burgundy for a change. So red Burgundy, white Burgundy are really expensive. The wineries there are they only grow one grape varietal. They only get one chance to make it right. Weather plays a huge part of how the wines turn out, and they are made with a lot of love and care, but they're, because of where they come from, the price tag just goes through the roof. So these are the most expensive wines of the whole bunch. But if you're having a traditional Christmas, so if you're having roast turkey or a Wellington or something, or and that roast potatoes, this is pure fruity Pinot Noir. This one's a bit unusual from the producer. They blended it with a little bit of Gamay too. So Gamay is a grape varietal of Beaujolais, but so it's Gamay and Pinot Noir, which is very unusual, but some Burgundy producers like to do that. So this is gorgeous, pure in style. Acidity there, but that's nice. Acidity carries it through. The acidity in the fruit will carry through with really good with meals. So it will balance very, very well with a roast turkey, roast chicken, that sort of thing. So really excited to kind of put that in front of you, really. It's not a big brash red wine. It's soft, it's pure, it's kind of complex. It'll get you thinking. If you're wanting a big brash posh red wine, you've got them here and here, don't forget. And my last two, so this was a red Burgundy from a small producer. I've never heard of this producer before. It's Christian Bellang. I don't know them, but the wines are really, really cool. So it's called Bourgogne on the label. It doesn't really give much away. So I really hope you enjoy that one. And then I've got another white wine from Burgundy. This is Aligoté. So in Burgundy, they're permitted to only grow a few grape varietals, so Chardonnay or Aligoté. Chardonnay is what you usually would see. So this is Aligoté, this is fermented, a little bit of oak in it too, so a bit of creaminess, but it's not overpowering in any sense of the word. This is very, very grown up in style. It's 12.5%, got clean acidity, really cleans through. So again, if you're having roast turkey, roast chicken, or smoked salmon or any fish like that, that would be really cool wine to have alongside it. So now it's got a bit of bottle age too, so that gives it a little roundness, a little complexity, a little nuttiness profile to it. So really cool wines to have on Christmas Day. And then the last wine is a white Bordeaux. So white wine from Bordeaux. This is the region in Bordeaux. It's called Pessac-Léognan. Pessac-Léognan is a very prestigious area for wine to come from in general. The prices are through the roof usually, and red wine is usually all you hear from Bordeaux. Pessac-Léognan is home to big house like Haut-Brion, if you know that one. So I love white Bordeaux. I have a real soft spot for white Bordeaux because 80% of what's grown in Bordeaux is red. and red really does take the limelight, and rightly so. You know, some very good wines come from Bordeaux. But white wine from the area, they've used Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon. This is a blend of the two, and so there's a bit of aromaticness to it, a bit of a floral feature going on, but it is clean. It is really complex, very minerally in style. So it's a real grown-up white wine. So it will give you a bit of point of difference, open out alongside the white Burgundy. But it's very classic in style, so it'll go really well if you're having shellfish. But again, it will just be beautiful on its own. It's a lovely white wine. And don't forget, white wine from Bordeaux can age really well. So again, you don't need to drink it now, but it is absolutely delicious. So really exciting stuff. So yeah, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 white wines, a sparkling wine, and then the rest are reds. I've really tried hard to kind of bring you something as a complete picture. It brings all parties to the table. I really hope you enjoyed them. Thank you so much for your support, and yeah, have a very Merry Christmas. Okay, cheers, bye.